You're tuned in to a one-take
podcast.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control. And if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it? I am the game.
Yo! Off the top ropes, I throw you into the turnbuckle. You are now live in the Drop ToeHold podcast. It's your man from the city of Detroit, Mr. Dad 1024, and I'm never in the squared circle without my buddy, without my tag team partner, none other than the sports guy in the shy, Bryan J. Loveless. What's up, partner?
I'm doing good, man. We've been needing to do this for a minute, and today presents his opportunity, man.
Yes, it does. It does so much. Brother, we are here, and we are time to do none other than the Drop ToeHold. We are back in the square circle, man. Last night was one of the most exciting nights in WWE calendar. It starts off the year. I don't know when they physical year calendar start, but it starts off the new year as the first pay-per-view, and it's always none other than the Royal Rumble 30-man Battle Royale. It's been my favorite since a kid. I love the countdown to see who's coming out next. I love everything about the Rumble, and that's what we got to see last night. We got to witness the Rumble at its finest, maybe, or did it piss you off? Who knows? But if you talk to us, you'll see it pissed one of us off. So, man, let's talk about we're not going to talk about the qualifying match. Let's talk about the opening match, which was Mania-worthy to me, man. Go ahead, give me your input on that opening match.
The opening pre-show match with the Fatal 4-Way tag match with the winners qualifying for the Royal Rumble, Swagger, Henry, Sandow, and Young were the weird tag teams versus the Ascension and the Dudleys. They were all mixed in. Everybody got their offense in. It did its job as a pre-show match. Killing time till the big event started. And Swagger and Henry won to qualify for the Royal Rumble. I think for just due, because this might be Mark Henry's last Royal Rumble appearance. So, I mean, it did what it did. That's point blank, period. If I had to raise, I'd give it 4 stars out of 10. It served its purpose.
See, right there, I didn't care. I had nothing else to do. I wasn't watching the game because when you lose your fantasy championship and a quarterback that carries you all the way there decides the week of championship week to score 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and then you see him in the NFC championship game shredding motherfuckers, I wasn't watching that. Thanks, Cam. I still kept you for next year, even though you let me down and I lost to a girl. So I wasn't watching football. So I watched. This may be the second pre-show match I've ever watched. I think the first was a couple months back with the New Day. So, I mean, I'm tired of seeing Mark Henry try to get in the ring. So I didn't care about that. I want to talk about the opening match. That right there was some garbage. Let's talk about the match that was Mania-worthy. None other than Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens' last man standing IC title match.
That match was off the charts, man. You put 2 guys who were willing to put their life on the line in a match, man, you call it instant classic, man. I mean, it was greatly done. I think the only small spot in that whole match was that the camera crew just didn't have the chemistry of catching all the action at the same time. It came to bite them in the butt a little bit because they did it a couple times throughout the night. I wonder if you noticed it, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I mean, we can get to it right now because same thing. You know, unfortunately, when you get vets like us, I'm like a 26-year vet wrestling fan, minus the 6 I walked away. So that put me at like, I'm not about to embarrass myself with the math. That put me at 20. I did the math that quick. I missed the whole ruthless aggression era. So But when you watch it for so long, you can still enjoy it, but yet you see the backside. Like, the camera crew almost made it look like a bad match at certain points of time because it made it look like Owens and Ambrose didn't have no chemistry. Like, it was like when he did the cannonball outside, you clearly see Dean completely move and Kevin Owens just smashes into a blank spot on a barricade. Like, so, but outside of that, I thought the match was awesome. Only bad spot I hated, I wanted to see Kevin Owens go up top and do that little moonsault flip that everyone knows I'm crazy about. I thought he was going to do it through the chairs. For him to lose by just being pushed over through the table, I wasn't a big fan of the finish. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the finishes tonight, so we can get into that. That was first match of the night. I was not a fan of the finish. But other than that, if you take away the finish, you can even deal with the camera problems. If you're going 5-star matches, that match was a 4-star match. That match gave you a lot of things. It gave you a lot of backstory, a lot of action. It also still leads up.
And these two guys make it seem like they legitimately hate each other, man.
Yeah, and it makes it seem like this story can go just a tad bit further. I mean, it does that for Kevin Owens and Dean. Like, it shows that they go a tad bit further. I mean, and I asked myself, and I asked you guys who will be listening, and I asked you, like, if done right, Kevin Owens can be the baddest badass in WWE. He has that bully mentality that's like I haven't seen.
He's one of those guys that looks for that reaction out of the crowd. He pulls that reaction from them, you know?
Yeah. So that match was great. Next up, everybody who knows me, originally, I was so against the New Day. I hated every bit of the idea. I hated every bit of the New Day. I think
how they initially thought the New Day idea was going to work out, it looked really bland and really, like, stale. But I think with the creative minds of Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E, they kind of morphed it into something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things where you go back to, you hand me lemons, I make you lemonades and lemon ice. You know what I mean? I don't just give you one. I do all type of thing with these lemons. And I think those guys, even themselves, seen their reaction to the New Day when they first came out. Because at first, we were worried about them being like, Nation of Domination, NOD 2.0 or something. Because they were first coming out in the suits and everything. So it's kind of like, that was kind of cool if they went with like a militant black core. But when they went with just like Christian Second Ebenezer, Temple of God, Faith, Seed of Olive Oil, Missionary Baptist Church choir thing, which this what goes back to this how you know how racist they can be up in Hartford. I think when they came out, they like, this is garbage. And they just fared off. They actually ad-libbed and it made a great thing. You know, we can talk about how great the New Day has become all day. But they had two other guys in the ring with them last night, and it was the Usos. And I'll say going into that match, because we was calling it, I called Kevin to beat Dean. You called Dean to win. So at that point, I was 0-1. You were 1-0. I had the Usos winning this match.
I actually had the New Day taking that because, I mean, what have we not seen from the Usos? The Usos has nothing else to offer us but maybe a matchup with the Dudleys or something. But right now, they offer us nothing. Not a thing. But being another team that's chasing the belts right now. Because why take the titles off the hottest team in WWE right now? You have nothing.
I like how you
them do chase the Usos for the titles. I mean,
I like how you say that. Well, we have nothing. Why do that? Why go back to that? Yeah, I'm going to go back to a lot of shit in a minute. And see, unfortunately, y'all hearing this for the first time, but this is a conversation. Me and him host like 4 podcasts a day, just talking on the phone regularly. So that's why he laughs. But here it is. I thought they would do it because the simple fact of, forgive me, I'm not good with their names. They are twins, so anybody who's mad at me for not knowing this, go fuck yourself. But the one that just came back from injury, And I felt like
I
they
think
didn't get
that's Jay.
that was Jay, right? They didn't get
I
a
believe,
fair
yeah.
they didn't get a fair shot at, trying to really redeem or defend their titles or whatever. I felt like the WWE would give them their titles back because in the last 6 months, the New Day has found way after way after way to scratch and scheme their way through keeping their titles. And I just did not see them walking out with the titles come last night. And that match, to me, was a very good match. I have no complaints. Once again, a 26-year vet like myself have seen a lot of body slams, a lot of cross bodies, and a lot of flying maneuvers. But last night I seen a move that may have been so simple to others. You were with me, so you know my reaction. I bring up a Nitro episode for a reason. I was watching it, and I sent him a video. You guys can look it up. It was a guy in Nitro named Loveless or something. And there was a spot where he was supposed to catch the guy jumping straight down. Like, he supposed to bear hug caught him midair. And this guy he supposed to caught couldn't have been no more than, what would you say, 170?
Probably lighter than that. He caught him, and he fell to the ground.
You know what I'm saying? And if you guys are wrestling aficionados, you remember, I keep calling him Haystacks, because he reminded you of Haystacks Calhoun. He was so big, but his name was Loveless.
He had the overalls and all that junk.
Yeah, he reminded you of that because Loveless was that big. But long story short, he couldn't even catch him. As Big E come to save Kofi, like he did, upon rolling in the ring, one of the Usos went up to go flying for, the splash. And he caught this man flush on his shoulder. And I ended up being behind.
Powerlifting gets you.
Yeah. I ended up being behind in the Rumble viewing because I rewinded 4 times. I had to see his knees never buckled. He never lost back. It was like he just threw a sack of potatoes. I mean, I work in the grocery industry. You can't throw a 50-pound sack of potatoes on my shoulder without me going down to one knee and taking a Tim Tebow.
Right.
He caught this man. That move right there, if you didn't like the New Day, you should love them because it's a lot of talent there. It's a lot of talent there. And big up to Francesca, too, for showing up. We needed us a nice trombone at the ring. I'm a little disappointed in Xavier. Didn't have his hair done up for me. I was looking forward to what do he would rock.
Thought he was coming back out with the James Brown hairdo, man.
Something. I do like the Sheiky shoes he wear. Everybody know I'm a huge Sheik fan. I like the Sheiky shoes. But I thought that match was good, man. On a tag team, especially in the diluted tag team division right now, I'll have to give that match right there at 4.5 stars because it gave you a lot. It gave you the little interference from Xavier Woods. It gave you the excitement of the Usos because they do fly. A little disappointed Michael Cole didn't say we got a flying Uso. But other than that, I thought that match was solid, man. What do you give it?
I think it was solid. For those guys who've gone at it a couple times, it wasn't the best of their matches, but it definitely wasn't the worst of those two tag teams going at each other. But, it is what it is. If I had to rate, I'd give it maybe a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 maybe.
So we do 5-star matches in the drop toe hold. So on the 5-star, what you giving it, brother?
Out of a 5-star, I'd probably give it a solid 3 maybe.
I have nothing against that. Usually I come with an obscene rant, but I'll give you that. Next up, what was the next match, B?
The United States title match, Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio.
The Mexicans fighting for the U.S. strap. Where are we at in America? This match, surprisingly, which I thought was placed in the wrong spot, but when it comes down to the business thing, you had to open up with Dean versus Kevin because it started things off right.
That match was meant to build the crowd. This match was meant for a title change. It is what it is. The whole Kalisto train, no disrespect to Kalisto now, because he's from the Chi, and I done seen and know people that have wrestled him over the years. But no disrespect to Kalisto, but the only reason he's probably